Hello everybody and welcome to Sports Vehicle Performance, and today we are back with our Porsche 993 project, and in this video we're going to be going ahead and installing the throttle bodies to our engine. So to do that we need to get the old inlet off, and it is actually quite a fairly straightforward job. As you can see here, if I turn the camera around actually, it might make it a lot easier to go through. So I've already stripped part of the fuel rail down. If you go around this side you can see it's all loose. So basically you don't actually have to remove it, but it just makes it a bit easier to get things out of the way. But this side's basically off, and then we have to go ahead and remove these Allens here. You can see them there. There's 3 on each one, so but yeah, fairly straightforward. Get these off, pull it all the way off, out the way, and then we can start looking at the new throttle bodies and then getting them on. And basically got to make fuel lines for them as well. So as you can see, these bits here, these won't be used. We've got new injectors and fuel rails, so we've got to go ahead and make the fuel lines. These will be braided and custom made. We do have a few old ones, but where we bought them from, but they kind of said I would recommend making your own, especially the fact it's going to be brand new, and it should be a lot better, more efficient, and at least then we know there's no problems with them. So yeah, this one, all big and clunky, pretty much standard, other than this little, I guess you can call it an air filter, but it isn't really, a bit of a metal cage. But yeah, we're going to be going ahead, removing all of this, getting the new ones on, and hopefully make it look 10 times better. There's a few other bits and pieces that we'll need doing to this engine. Like here, we've got a bracket being made for these, just to hold these on a bit better. There is part of the standard like mount off here, but yeah, we're going to be doing that. And again, we've already talked about, if you've watched our previous videos, ice blasting. So I think we're getting all the suspension bits done, which actually I can kind of show you now. If you watched the last video, we stripped a lot of it down. As you can see, it's sort of all laid out. So we've got the, let's remember this now. So this is the rear suspension in this box here, and then we've got the front suspension, this box here. So you can see all the steering rack, that's all out. We've got the brake ducts there for part of it, and yes, we've got all the hubs, we've got all the suspension, all the subframe here as well. We've got the rear hubs. All the sort of rear corners as well, all laid out, all stripped, like I said I would do in the last video. As you can see, this one is still stuck in. We are going to be doing this properly, but again, we just haven't done that one yet because it is properly stuck. As you can see in there, we've actually snapped 2 Torx bits in the end of that, just sort of showing how strong it is. One was sort of meant to be a stronger one and basically came off instantly, so it's sort of showing you how stuck it is. So basically, it's probably going to need a new little arm on that, but it's not the end of the world. Fortunately, that is just what happens with cars, especially when they sit around and stuff sort of gets more and more stuck. So yeah, an unfortunate, but definitely not something we can't solve. I mean, we might get lucky with it, but yeah, worst comes to worst, it will probably end up having a new one anyway, as already said, just due to the bush as well, which isn't great from all the attempts of trying to get it off all the guns. The other ones literally all came off perfectly, especially once I was off camera. Like I said, used the Torx, get the spanner on it, and it literally came straight off. So that one's just been a bit unlucky, but to be honest, that's really the only problem we've had. So yeah, all of this is going to be ice blasted, we're pretty sure at this point now. It's probably the best way to go, especially with the whole rest of the car being stripped. So there it is over here. So yeah, we're going to make the fuel lines for this that all come off the back here, and you can see this is the standard one and the other one is up here. So yeah, we've got a few bits to make, but it should all be pretty good. So yeah, back to the engine. We're going to go ahead, remove this now, and I'll probably see you when it's off. I mean, go through all the new inlet, all the new throttle body, sorry, and yeah, go through that. So I shall see you guys in a minute. Well, there we go. The inlet manifold is now all off, out the way, and that now gives us room to go ahead. Oh, a load of fuel just went all over the floor, nice and lovely. But yeah, that gives us room to go ahead and get the new one. I'll show you that in a second, and then hopefully we can get that on relatively quickly. But yeah, there you go, big bulky, and now we can go ahead and put the cool inlet manifolds on. So let's do that. Right, there we go. So the inlet is now off. I've gone ahead and also removed the crankcase breather, this bit at the top here. Well, you can actually see it there as well. Quickly, as we've got a new one, which has a built-in, I think it's a fuel pressure regulator, so it's all a vacuum system. So yeah, that's in there. You can see all the bits on the top. And you can see the lovely little valves on the top there, so that's always nice. But yeah, I thought I'd go ahead and show you the kit now. So I've just unboxed everything, spin the camera around. So here we go, we have the actual throttle bodies here. Try not to touch the top of them. As you can see them all the bits. The new crankcase breather with the, I believe this is part of the throttle, well it will be. And obviously we've got part of the fuel pressure regulator in here, so vacuum system there. So, you know, we'll all figure this out. You know, there isn't instructions for stuff like this, so it's all a case of just putting stuff on, working out how it all goes, adjusting bits and pieces, and yeah, so all fairly simple though, to be honest, especially for us. But yeah, anyway, we've got the adapter plates here. So as you can see, these are all pretty new. Got the seals in there. So how these work is basically this kit's got like 2 different ones. So I believe this is for a different type of car, a different type of model. So what you do is you take your adapters and you put your first one, this one in like that. So you put your first one in like there, if I can get it right and on camera, and then you basically get this one fits on top of it. Bolt that down. Once this is bolted down, you then go ahead and fit the throttle body, both sides, get them on. Obviously, like I said, both sides. So this side first, then we'll do that side. Then once they're on, we can go ahead and fit all the little bits and pieces, such as fuel lines and stuff. Speaking of fuel lines, we actually have them over here. So these are the old ones. We may just use these to measure stuff up. To be honest, they actually look pretty good condition, so we may use them, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. I'm not too sure yet. And we have all the bolts in here as well for all the bits and pieces. So obviously to fit in the throttle bodies to the adapter plates, we've got these bolts, and for actually mounting the actual adapters, we've got these bolts. So yeah, quite a lot going on. So we'll get these on, get the adapters on first, and then we'll get the throttle bodies on after. Right, so missed out a bit of this, of me actually installing the throttle bodies, mostly due to the fact of how long it actually took me to finally get all the bolts tightened down. You saw me install the adapter plates, but the actual throttle bodies themselves, these little bolts here are a real pain to do. I thought you might not want to watch probably 2 hours of me attempting to install a few Allen bolts, because they really are a pain. If I turn the camera around, I can show you a bit better. So basically, as you can see them here, these are the ones, there's 4 on each like cylinder, and basically really difficult to get into. Obviously they're basically this high, so to start them off you have to sort of hope that they're finger tight, get them probably halfway down, and then get a really small fine Allen key that I have, which is kind of made for doing throttle bodies, but these ones were particularly quite bad just because of how small the actual area is. But I mean, to be honest, this is kind of what they're like. Anybody who's done sort of throttle bodies like these will sort of know what I mean, but it doesn't matter because they're all on and they're looking pretty good, I think. So yeah, you can see them there, and there. Took the covers off to make it slightly easier with the Allen key as well, but yeah, there we go. So next up, we've got to install the breather plate right here, and then basically start doing some of the fuel lines, and I think it's got a few vacuum lines as well, as you can see these bits here. So we're not exactly sure how they route yet, but it's pretty self-explanatory once we get it on. So we'll go ahead, put this on first, do some of the fuel lines, and then have a look at the vacuum lines and if it needs it and where they go. So yeah, see you in a minute. Right, so you join me a few hours later. I've gone ahead and fitted the crankcase breather. So that was the thing that you saw me doing last, and then I've gone ahead and done quite a bit more on the engine. Just more of the boring sort of processes of, to start off with, I've fitted these coil packs a lot better, as you might have seen in the previous video. You know, they were loose, all hanging about. So there's a little bracket that we've made up, bolted them down, they're secure, all tight, nicely fastened. I'll show you the crankcase breather actually there, you can see it. And also you can see the throttle linkage, how that all works. So if I do that, you can see the throttles are moving there. Hopefully this side. If I do that, you can see them moving about. So yeah, that's all basically the fuel system. As you've seen, the braided lines are on there as well, you may have noticed. So these come from the fuel rails. Actually, I'll turn the camera around to make it a bit easier. So yeah, so you can see the fuel lines now. Both of these are on. These are basically the return feed lines. So these come back into here. This regulates a lot of the fuel pressure, and that'll send it back to the return line of the car. And then we've got the pump, which we believe will probably send it from this side, because this is the side where the pump comes in. So it'll come in down here. You've got the fuel pump, fuel filter here, sorry, comes through, round in, and then you can see a little fitting here. So we've got a braided line, which will basically go on, come off, go to the end of the fuel line, this side where it gets pumped in, come through, and then it also gets sent across the engine, round here, to the other side, which is just down here on this side fuel rail. That's how the fuel gets in. Really simple, to be honest. Just yeah, pretty straightforward. And that's really it for the throttle body. So they're basically all on. We will be setting these up as well, but we'll probably be doing that a lot of the dyno. They are actually really well set up already. Like, you know, they're hitting the stoppers. We are getting full throttle. As when you open these up, we can see that everything's operating. It's just making sure that that's also adjusted properly for the pedal. For example, if you're full throttle now and the pedal's hitting the floor and that isn't open all the way, and it needs to be just a tiny bit more, that can obviously affect power. So let's make sure that all these little things are correct and good. I've also changed how the HT leads are fed through the car. So originally they came through these little mounts here. They come through this side and this side. This is going to cause a problem because, as you may be able to see, as you pull the throttles, they move up and down, and when they're sat here, they can get in the way. And what that means is it may not close properly. These can get in the way. So I've gone ahead and moved them around to go over the top of the fan with this little bracket here. So I put that on, mounted it, make sure they're not loose or, you know, rocking about, going to come loose anywhere. And same on the other side. To be fair, this side was actually all right, so I didn't have to worry too much about them. But yeah, just a case of a fairly simple job on this. So done a few of those bits. In the meantime, actually though, Tom has gone ahead and done this on the car, so I thought I'd show you these as well quickly. He's removed the rear quarter windows and installed these new ones. So I'll see if I can quickly find the old ones. Here they are. So this is what they used to look like, if you remember. They had these little holes in. See if you can see them, there you go. And the lights to that, if I can turn it around, used to go there like that. And without the holes, it's a lot better and a lot more roadworthy. So yeah, a lot better. You won't get any rainwater seeping in through there now, which is always good. And also he's gone ahead and removed the rear screen. So this is all loose, and our next job is basically to clean all this up. So I'm sure we'll do that off camera. But the next step is for us to get this car back on the ramp with all the suspension off. It is going to be ice blasted, I think, later on this week. So yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully we can do a quick little video of that when it's all being blasted, all getting cleaned up, and also all the suspension. We've just ordered a few more bits for this as well. Yeah, to make sure we've got everything ready to go. All this will be being blasted as well. So yeah, we've done quite a bit today really on this engine, on this car, and as a whole, with all the windows being cut out, we've obviously going to have them fitted, hopefully relatively soon. Car's being ice blasted, and yeah, the engine's moved on quite a long way. You know, it's pretty much ready to go back in. Just a few other little bits like making sure the fuel line's measured out. We do have the old one here, which I will show you. You can see it there. So that's basically this little top bit will be the bit that goes into the fuel feed. That will go into the rail, and then you've got the other end, which is a solid end. So that would go into the other end of the fuel rail as well. So yeah, that might work. Hopefully it does, but obviously we'll see whether we make a new one. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this quick little video. You know, moving on quite a bit now with the car. We're getting more into the cleaning up, actually installing bits, which is of course the fun bit. So yeah, hopefully you're looking forward to that. I know I am. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment so you can stay tuned for the next video, next episode. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.